Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another Coinsider live stream. If you all have joined me in the past, then you know that I do these at noon Eastern USA time almost every day of the weekdays at least. So today we are going to do a different format than usual. We are going to do a top news of the week roundup. So some really specific things to keep in mind is that this is not meant to be a deep dive into each particular topic, but rather just a roundup, right? So we go maybe like high level or like medium depth into each topic, but it's not meant to be a deep dive. Whereas in our other streams, we do focus on like one or two topics at most, and then we go really deep into them, right? So this is a news roundup of the top news of the week. And 11 says, you're late on this news. I mean, yes, it's from yesterday, but it's a news roundup. So we're going to cover this Cetus protocol exploit in the Sui ecosystem. But there's like 9-10 other topics that I want to talk about today. So let us, and this is also something I'm trying to do with these streams is start to do more consistent formats, you know, like, yes, I have my deep dive regular streams into various coins, projects, news, sectors, ecosystems. Those will be our bread and butter. But yesterday we did a audience interaction stream where it's like reviewing your portfolios live. And I also want to do these news roundups at the end of each week. So let me know if you like this format, and I can do it more in the future. And then I'm also thinking about doing a guest stream every week, like invite an interesting guest on and just chat with them and whatnot. So I'm looking to mix it up, but also be consistent, so you can expect similar styles of formats on a week-to-week basis. Okay, so let us go to the news of the week, and let me pull up some. Let me pull up. Can you also hear me, by the way? I think one sec. Hello. Testing. Just making sure, mic check, that you can still hear me. Okay, because it was giving me some like technical issues on the dashboard. So just let me know if at any point in the future something's up, and I will fix it. But anyhow, on to the first story of the week, and it's also one of the most recent ones, even though it's not technically. So here you go. Cetus protocol, one of the largest DEXs and DeFi protocols on Sui, got exploited, and they stole approximately $223 million worth of funds from Cetus protocol. And they locked things down pretty soon after, and they recovered a good chunk of that, 162 million. And they're trying to recover the remaining funds. So the majority of impacted funds are paused, and we are actively pursuing paths to recover the remainder. And people are like, you can just pause it. So here's a great recap for y'all. One of the biggest protocols in Sui, Cetus, backed by Sui Foundation, just got drained. A lot of tokens nuked by 90% and pools completely wrecked. Remember, DEXs have liquidity pools, right? And a lot of those were like they withdrew all the liquidity. What went wrong? The fatal flaw was that they were using internal pricing, their own oracles, instead of pulling data from external feeds. So they used fake tokens with fake prices, the exploiters, deposited them in the pools, and fooled the system into thinking it received real liquidity. In reality, they drained actual assets and cashed out via wormhole to ETH. So major DPEGs, minus 92% across multiple tokens. Sui ecosystem shook. Could it have been prevented? Honestly, hard to say. It had audits, etc., etc. The bug wasn't in the code, it was in the architecture. So this is yet another reminder that DeFi, there's risk involved. Even if they're offering you high yields, there's still risk in like smart contract risk or architecture risk, however you want to call it, right? Now, here is some big part of the news. A hacker stole over 200 million, then something unprecedented happened. Sui validators literally banned him from the network and froze his funds mid-escape. The hack was brutal. Sui meme coins nuked 75%. USDC depegged to 0 on their chain, not on other chains. But here's where it gets interesting. Hacker thought he was unstoppable. Bridge funds to Ethereum, started converted to ETH, already moved 60 million off chain, except Sui validators had other plans. They literally banned the hacker's wallet from the network, froze 162 million mid-transaction. The remaining stolen funds locked in digital prison. No consensus needed from the courts, no lengthy legal process. Just validators saying nope. But wait, can they actually do that? Yes, Sui validators can collectively deny transactions from specific wallets. It is not automatic. It requires broad validator consensus. The crypto world is split. Let me go back here. If they can freeze funds, is it really decentralized? Well, they saved 162 million from being stolen permanently. Both sides have valid points, but this changes everything about L1 security assumptions. So yeah, I don't want to go into detail because this is just a high-level news roundup. And look, the hacker's mistake was thinking one person could control an entire chain. He was right about the control part, but wrong about who had it. It wasn't him, it was the validators working together. But anyhow, this brings up a big question, right, folks? First of all, Sui had like this big drop yesterday during the exploit when other things were going up. And now today, everything's going down. So this was kind of part of the par for course. But my question for you is, chat, let me know what you think about this. Are you on the camp that good on them for freezing the hacker's funds because F the hacker? Or are you on the theme that says like Sui is a joke for being able to freeze funds in the first place? It's not even decentralized, right? It's like super centralized in this case. The validators can just be like, black mark this, just like exclude them from our network completely. What do you think, chat? Let me know right now what you think in terms of this particular fiasco. Are the Sui validators right for banning the hacker and freezing the funds? They saved a lot of people's money. Or are they wrong for just spitting in the face of DeFi and decentralized finance? Let me know in the chat what you think about this. And folks, let me know. And folks, like I said, this is just the first topic of this week's news roundup. So we have like 10 more to go, okay? It's bad. I'm on the side that all alts are a joke. Well, Mike, good thing for you. We have several Bitcoin topics today. So in this news roundup, it's not only altcoins. Not really DeFi. But honestly, like a lot of chains and projects are not true DeFi. Let's be real. Arguably, like only Bitcoin and Ethereum and like Monero are like true DeFi. Sui is semi-centralized. They are wrong. That's why I don't keep my funds on bank. They can freeze my asset anytime. That's the same thing as Sui. That is a good point, Helmet. Can't let these scammers get free range. It's good. I also agree that, like, screw the hackers and scammers, right? Like, screw them. But yeah, it's a really tough topic. Anyhow, next, give me a second. The next topic on this week's news roundup is, can you guess it? It's, of course, let me see. Bitcoin hitting new all-time highs. Look at this. Boom! Rocket ship this week. And if you scroll on the left side, you probably had to squint your eyes. All-time high. 111,000, sorry. Tongue twister. $970.17. 1 day ago, May 22nd, 2025. All-time high party this week. And what's interesting is that this coincided with Pizza Day. Remember this guy? He was a pioneer in the Bitcoin space with trying to get Bitcoin adopted, bought 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin. That Bitcoin today is worth $1.2 billion. So this guy was key to Bitcoin's early adoption, but he must be freaking just like kicking himself for it, right? On Pizza Day. Yeah, 112,000. It's truly a great sight to see. Ooh, on Pizza Day even. Exactly, on Pizza Day. So dang, this is making me hungry, folks. Who wants some Bitcoin pizza? But like Michael Saylor said, he's like, use fiat to buy the pizza, keep the Bitcoin. That I kind of agree with. But you know what's interesting? It's not just all-time highs. Okay, that's cool. But funding rates on most crypto exchanges are at baseline or below it. This is the least euphoric new all-time high in history. So that is crazy to see. Like, yeah, some people are going long, but they're not going like crazy giga, like sell your kidneys go long, you know? Which usually we see. So this is actually quite healthy and not too euphoric, because when things are too euphoric, when everyone's like going 100x long, selling their cars, etc., that is when we should be worried, folks. That is when a big correction is usually on the horizon. But right now, that's not the case. Even though fear and greed index, let me show you here, is a little bit high right now. It's not at extreme greed, but it's at greed. And to be honest, I do feel a little greedy right now. Let's be honest. Like, I've been deploying, etc. So yeah, I mean, this kind of matches with my, but when we get to extreme greed, like, yes, it can stay up there for quite a bit. But we're not quite there yet, is the point. And check this out. This is unlike any all-time high break I've ever seen. Coincides with the same day that USD bonds and stocks puke on a weak 20-year treasury auction. So Bitcoin was going up that day when other stuff was going down, and we usually don't see this type of divergence. Complete disbelief on the timeline. TradFi friends not even aware that BTC is at all-time high. That's true. I told my other buddies who are more into stocks and things like that, they're like, oh, didn't know. IRL crypto friends had de-risked into the move, even those who never sell. So acceleration from here seems likely. So I agree with this. Is this how y'all see it too? Like, what about your non-crypto friends? They're probably like, oh, didn't even know that. Like, it's really not that euphoric right now. Yeah, exactly. Binancer, we already talked about the Sui stuff. This is a news roundup, and we have other really juicy topics to cover from the top news of this past week. So I really think y'all should stick around for that. That pizza case was marketing. Well, I mean, yeah, but that was back then when it was like really decentralized and really like young, you know, like a Bitcoin was like a few cents or less, like less than a cent. So it's like really raw and like not really raw and like gritty marketing per se. Okay. Now, next topic. Next juicy topic of the week is, guess what it is? It's Trump's meme coin dinner. Remember how Trump has his Trump meme coin, right? And one of the benefits there for holding it is that the top holders gets to head to a private crypto dinner with him. And they're like, oh, we want to like have access to President Trump. So people pay millions of dollars for it. And a lot of people were mad about it, saying that this is corruption. This is like, and White House press secretary said it's a personal thing, not a White House dinner. But wealthy donors have been buying a lot, millions and millions of dollars worth of Trump coin. And that actually pumped it too, right? Like, let's see. Trump coin market cap. Let's see. Okay, well, they pumped it quite a bit in leading up to it. It's still kind of low compared to all-time highs. Like, look at this initial. Who was here for that? I also bought it and sold it, not at the exact top, but like in profit. And then kind of don't believe in it as much, especially after this Trump meme coin dinner. And I'll tell you why in a sec, why I'm like less bullish on it and more bearish per se. Because you would think that it's like, okay, Trump is going to do stuff for them in the future. But wait a sec. There's some details here that matter. But first, a lot of people weren't happy about this. Even Senator Lummis, who's the biggest Bitcoin bull, said that the dinner gives her pause. She said, this is my president that we're talking about, but I'm willing to say that this gives me pause. It's really conflicts of interest. They're invited, top 220 holders of Trump meme coin were invited to an intimate private dinner at its golf club outside of Washington, D.C. The top 25 investors will also receive an invitation to a VIP White House tour the following day. That made the Trump meme coin surge. And yeah, a lot of people, even in the Republican side, feel uneasy about this. And let's be honest, I like a lot of things that they're doing in the crypto space, but I don't like this. Like, this is such bad conflict of interest. And I think a lot of the people going there should not be in the inner circle or get any voice in how the Trump admin runs the crypto policies, right? Chat, let me know what you think about this. Now, here's the thing. Maybe it's not even that big of a deal, though, because this is breaking news, by the way. 2 attendees of the VIP dinner said that while the food was good, they were disappointed by the lack of meaningful interaction with the president. They hoped for more access and perhaps even Q&A, but instead the speech was essentially a reiteration of the US goal to become the crypto capital. He just gave a few remarks and left. So let that sink in. Gave a few remarks and left. So maybe this was all a big nothing burger and it wasn't as like slimy as people were like thinking it was going to be, you know, because it could have been really slimy if they got inner access. You know why? The top holder of the Trump meme coin, the number one holder, is none other than this guy, His Excellency Justin Sun. And you know why I don't like this? Because of this. Crypto billionaire Justin Sun for years would not set foot in the United States for fear of arrest. And honestly, I think there's a lot of things that he did that was really like slimy and unethical. And who knows, does he belong in jail? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But now, the Chinese-born tycoon and top investor in Trump's meme coin, not only Trump's meme coin, but also his family's DeFi project, World Liberty Financial, Justin Sun put like tens of millions in there, is set to attend a VIP dinner with Trump. Actually, let's look at his profile, actually. He might have like Justin Sun Tron. He was in the United States. For the longest time, he wouldn't come in fear of being arrested. Yeah, here he is at the dinner. He was awarded a Trump Gold. And look at him. So bold in fucking the dinner. And he even has a video. all this Chinese and Saudi foreign influence. Let's watch this video. You see all these like crypto lobbyists and people trying to get in favor. So, yeah, guys, what do you feel about this, chat? Let me know. Like, I did not like, I wanted Trump just to focus on the good crypto policies. Like, they're doing good work there. Bitcoin Reserve, SEC new chair, just opening up, like, removing, like, Operation Choke Point 2.0 so the banks can actually deal with crypto assets, stablecoin genius bill. There's so many good things. Why does he need to do freaking meme coin stuff, letting Justin Sun back in the getting influence, Ripple influence, right? I just don't like that, chat. Let me know. Am I tripping? Should I like not be so hard on them? Or do you also not like this like conflict of interest and like, I don't know, is he going to freaking pardon Sam Bankman-Fried by the end of his term? That would be a huge slap in the face for us, right? Guys, chat, let me know. If President Trump pardons SBF, how will you feel? Will you be freaking outraged? Will you be so mad about it? Or will you be like, whatever, he did all the good stuff for the crypto space, he saved our industry? What would you feel, right? If more of these like influence plays, like he also pardoned Trevor Milton of Nikola, who was literally convicted for fraud and had like a 4-year prison sentence, if I didn't get that wrong. He pardoned him, and people were like, everyone on finance Twitter was pissed. Like almost everyone, even Trump supporters, no joke. They're like, what the hell? This is crazy. And guess what? The lawyer of Trevor Milton was Pam Bondi, the attorney general's brother. Okay? So conflict of interest or no? Like President Trump didn't even know the guy, but like, this is freaking crazy, right? Let me know what you think about this. But anyways, that was so far in this news roundup. We talked about CETA's protocol from Sui, new Bitcoin all-time highs, Trump meme coin dinner. Next up, we have another juicy topic for you. Let me pull up some links. All the biggest news from this past week, a great news roundup. Now, remember, and chat, I really want to know your thoughts and your opinion. I'll highlight the top ones I see as well. Okay, so the next one is this, a big one. Like I said, one of the good things that they're doing, freaking, can I hide this? Okay, anyhow. The Senate advances its first of its kind crypto legislation after Democrats initially blocked it amid Trump crypto deals. So remember the Genius Bill that had all the drama? Well, the Senate voted in favor of advancing it. Wait, where can I go? Okay, right here. They voted with bipartisan support. They initially blocked it. It's called the Genius Act. It's going to bring stablecoins into the forefront in the United States. Rare bipartisan effort. They negotiated. Guess who was mad? Elizabeth Warren was mad. But Senator Kirsten Gillibrand was one of the Democratic co-sponsors. And et cetera, et cetera. Some people had real concerns about the Trump's family use of crypto technologies to evade oversight, hide shady financial dealings, and personally profit, etc., etc. But here is a great recap thread. The bill will now move. What's next, right? Well, not a good look from Trevor Milton pardon, but more positives and negatives. On balance, he's good. Yeah, I would say on balance, I'm good, but there's still stuff I really don't like, and we should call out what we see, right? Anyways, moving, what's next for this Genius Act? Move to the House of Representatives, review, debate, amend. If they make changes, they'll need a vote on it. Reconciliation, and then presidential thing, and then implementation. So these are the next steps. Pretty self-explanatory. And even David Sachs, crypto and AI czar, said that it's really going to benefit. He said, we already have over 200 billion in stablecoins. It's just unregulated. We could create a lot more of demand. And even if you remember, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that this could unlock even more power for the US dollar, right? Now, we have a lot more topics that I'm going to go through as part of this weekly news roundup. But first, as this next bull run, this next leg up is starting, what are you doing, folks? If you are a serious retail investor who cares about research, who cares about analysis, who cares about coming up with great theses before aping into a coin, if that's you, if that describes you perfectly, what are you doing if you're not part of retail DAO yet? Like, now is the best time to get in and hurry up, because we are a community of like-minded investors, like I just described, and we help each other out. We share opportunities, we share alpha, and we really rely on the wisdom of the crowd to level up our investing journeys. We're not the type to just ape into whatever Ansem or Marat says. We come up with theses, we debate, we discuss, we research, we analyze, and that is how we do our portfolio moves. So if you are, first of all, shout out to all the DAOs, that's DAOWLS, because our mascot is an owl. Shout out to all of y'all watching and here in the chat. But if you aren't yet, we would love to welcome you to join us. The link is in the description, but basically you need 20,000 of our tokens at least, and you join the Discord. Okay, so here's the thing. You need 20,000 of our tokens at least, and you buy it on Uniswap on Base. So you need to get some Base on your you need to get some ETH on your Base wallet. Don't use USDC because it doesn't have good slippage. It has bad slippage even. So get ETH on Base. You can either withdraw from Coinbase or get ETH on the main Ethereum network and then bridge it over. Two ways, okay? And then go to Uniswap and swap ETH for retail. You only need 20K to join. There are higher tiers, but 20K is enough. And here's the thing, guys. If you don't like it, if you don't like what you see, if you're like, hey, these guys suck, I hate them, whatever, then you could sell your tokens and get out of it, right? And you lose your access to the members only channels after like a week or something like that. But that's pretty much the process. Just get the tokens in your Base wallet and join the Discord, go through the token gating process and say hello to us in the general chat. And there's also an alpha forum and things like that. Just say hello, we'll say hello back, and we would love to have you there. All right, now back to the weekly news roundup. And the next piece of news is also good news on the regulatory front. And this time, the state of Texas strategic Bitcoin reserve build officially passes and goes to the governor's desk for final signature. So it's not only the US exploring a Bitcoin reserve, the individual states are also looking to buy for their reserves. And Texas is one of the ones leading the way. Hoorah! God bless Texas, right? Now, another big news that happened this past week is, of course, the Coinbase data breach. Remember this? In the Coinbase latest breach, it wasn't even like a true hacker, a traditional hack per se. It's essentially they bribed customer support agents who are from overseas countries to leak customer data. So they're like, hey, we'll give you 1,000 USD, which is a lot for them, if you just steal the data from the Coinbase systems and give it to us. So look, they didn't get the keys or private keys or funds, but they got something just as dangerous. They got a blueprint to impersonate their victims. They got name, phone number, and ID, KYC info. That's all a SIM swap attacker needs. And they can also just like phish you too, right? How many of y'all have gotten those like fake calls and texts like, oh, your Coinbase account's being accessed. Like, call us now to stop it. Those are all scams. Folks, ignore all your emails, ignore all your calls. Like, just go double check yourself. Don't click any stupid like phishing links. Don't call them. Don't even pick up. Don't even bother to pick up. If you hear anything that's like trying to make you worry, just chill out, calm down, and if you really want to, go check it separately. But don't even click or call or answer, please. And Synapse, please, if you're aiming to join retail, don't buy a crap ton of it. We want people to join affordably, okay? We're not looking for whales to like pump it up and then dump it in the future when they want to leave. We want people we want an army of serious retail investors to join us. Texas rocks. Bitcoin historically dumped on conference day. Yeah, BTC, that's a great point. Before I keep on going with, okay, let me finish this first. So Coinbase's security system is among the best in the world, but they found a way around it by bribing customer support agents who shouldn't even have had access to this. So I guess Coinbase's design of their system was bad, but like the cybersecurity aspect is still top notch. So look, let this be a warning to every company outsourcing support ops without robust insider threat detection. So this is big news. And some people were like, this is really, this is worse than it looks. Because, check this out. In April, Coinbase announced changes to its user agreement that added 2 clauses limiting class action lawsuits and requiring them to be filed in New York. The changes apply to this, initiated after May 15th. On May 14th, Coinbase disclosed a data breach. So they gave people no opportunity to launch lawsuits. Kind of slimy, even though I still use Coinbase. Oh, good. Apparently, the Coinbase breach happened on December 26, 2024. They had ongoing access via multiple insiders over a prolonged period of time. So, yeah, that's not good. And guess what, folks? A lot of people, especially people with higher balances in Coinbase, have been receiving these scam calls, like a flood, like dozens of calls every day, or texts, or emails like this, right? Chat, let us know if you've received this and are pissed at Coinbase for this whole data breach, right? But some people had a different view of it. Some people were like, you can't really be mad at Coinbase for this. I mean, sure, you can be mad at them for this happening, but they're saying Coinbase didn't even want to have this KYC data, but they're forced to by the government. But I see both sides, right? Like Coinbase is at fault for kind of not like having better systems in place in terms of insider threat detection. But also, like, I think ideally they would not, in an ideal world, they wouldn't even want to do this KYC. They just have to because of government regulations. Now, while Coinbase has been struggling with that, guess what? Its competitor, Kraken, has been Tesla, Apple, Nvidia stock to trade as digital tokens on Kraken. 24/7 tokenized equities. They're preparing to allow US and non-US customers to use tokenized equities. That's actually cool. Hey, chat, how many of y'all are going to trade Tesla, Nvidia, and Apple stock and others on the blockchain? Or actually, it's not on the blockchain, it's on their exchange, I guess, but it's like tokenized. X stocks. Well, if they're on DEXs, then they can be on the blockchain. Yeah. Anyways, it's backed by shares of the underlying security, with Kraken's partner Backed Finance acquiring new shares as needed. This was attempted by Binance in 2021, but it was discontinued due to international regulators not letting them do so. So how many of y'all, chat, let me know if y'all are going to trade Apple, Tesla, and Nvidia stock on the blockchain instead of doing it through Robinhood, perhaps. Yeah. I'm also a big fan of Kraken's social media team, by the way. They're quite funny. Now, moving on to the next big news of the week. It's Worldcoin, aka Sam Altman's eye scanning crypto project, raised $135 million from A16Z and Bain Capital Crypto. Funding was through a direct purchase of liquid market priced Worldcoin. So they are making moves. They are growing. They have new stuff going on. And if you check their price, it has rocketed due to this recent purchase. So they are making moves there. Which I'm curious, how many of y'all have gotten your eye scans for free crypto? Right? They have a lot going on. I have not, but I have seen, or better question yet, chat, how many of y'all have seen these orbs? How many of y'all have seen them around? I have seen them, I think, twice. I forget where. I think one time was when I was in Mexico, and another time, maybe it was in the US. I don't remember really, but I think I've seen it twice. Or maybe in Japan. Anyhow, they have it around the world. Now, next big piece of news from this past week was a blast from the past. Former Safemoon CEO has been convicted on all charges, including defraud, fraud, money laundering, and wire fraud. Justice is served. Screw Safemoon. I told y'all Safemoon was a scam. People were like, I'm making so much money. Safemoon, not a scam. It was a scam from day one. I saw it. I called it. And I'm so happy that it, even in this crime season per se, that justice is served here. Safemoon CEO facing up to 45 years in prison. They used a portion of fees for personal gain. Co-conspirator Thomas Smith has since pleaded guilty, awaits sentencing, while another Kyle Nagy remains at large. Oh, this guy's going to get caught eventually. And if for staying at large, he's going to get like life or something. Anyways, another topic, big news topic in this news roundup of the past week. I'm going to go quickly on this one because we already talked about it in a separate stream before. But there's a lot of drama in Cardano land, and people were saying that they like unethically claimed like $225 million worth of ADA from the ICO days that people didn't claim, and that they like took over it in the hard fork a few years ago. But yeah, honestly, I think this will blow over soon, and we'll see what to make of it. But so far, to me, from the outside, it seems like they didn't do anything like that unethically here. I can be fair. Even though I'm not a fan of Cardano and ADA, I can be fair, okay? No way I'm doing these eye scans. That's just crazy. Bro, you get free money, though. Even though it's like 20 bucks or so. Portfolio reviews are fun. I'm going to do that more, Karthik. I'm going to do that next week. And I invite you to send it to me in advance. Anyways, we're almost done with the news of the week, chat. And the last one is Circle, USDC ICO or IPO, plans to IPO, plans to go public. But talks with Ripple and Coinbase who are bidding could lead to sale. They're seeking a sale price of at least $5 billion, but it's rumored that Ripple was like going to double that to like 9 to 11 billion or something like that. So I hope Ripple doesn't get it. But also, oh wait, I forgot to show you. Banks. If Ripple buys it, then it may not matter. At first, I was like, I'm not going to use USDC anymore because I don't like Ripple. But check this out. Some US banks explore venturing into crypto with joint stablecoin. How many of y'all would use JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Citigroup, Wells Fargo? Their joint stablecoin. How many of y'all would use that? And is that RIP USDC? Maybe Tether will be okay because Tether has so much of like a global international user base, right? Like in Latin America and Southeast Asia, et cetera, et cetera. But USDC, their big thing is that they're like US regulated, et cetera. So if this comes, it will be a bigger competitor to USDC, in my opinion. And maybe Ripple would lose. Ripple would pay a lot and still lose, right? What do y'all think about that? Phew. So, folks, wait, let me take a sip of water. This has been a great stream today. I am going to do more of these news roundups, but like probably every Friday, like the end of the week top news roundups. Let me know what you think. Thank you all for watching. Please like the stream as it helps me a lot. Please join us at Retail DAO. Pratik, maybe next week during the portfolio review, ask me this. I don't want to start diving into random coins and tokens because this stream is like a news roundup. But next week I will definitely cover that if you're in my like portfolio review stream. Just let me know. I promise you I'll cover it. And I hope to see y'all around, you new folks in Retail DAO. I hope you join us DAOs. And please say hello. We will welcome you. We will start chatting with you about stuff. And Bitcoin does dump on conference days. That is true. BTC Conference Vegas. When is that? That is very soon, isn't it? It is May 27th. That's a few days. So it could dump. I mean, it's already dumping today, right? But, oh, even Ross Ulbricht is there. Michael Saylor, David Sachs, etc., etc. Robinhood, a lot of people. Big names. And it could dump. It could dump in conference day. Harley's likes the new round. That's great to hear. I'll do more in the future. All right, chat. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see y'all next week, 12 noon Eastern time. Cheers.